urban farmers are a really wonderful, nutty group. I mean, we are nuts, every one of us, because it's nearly impossible actually to make any money doing this. And so you really have to be doing it for completely other reasons. That passion for justice in the food system and for undoing all the damage that we've already done to the planet, it's kind of something that I think grabbed all of us and won't let us go.
Just east of downtown Austin, you can barely hear the clucking of chickens amid the roar of passing buses and emergency sirens. Dorsey Barger's 2-acre homestead grows organic vegetables and raises chickens, ducks, and rabbits, most of which she sells at wholesale to restaurants. But she's not selling any right now.
After today, it'll be completely filled with chicken. It's a good thing it's delicious.
The city shut down Barger's farm following a complaint from a neighbor about a bad smell, and since then the city has struggled with how to allow the farm to get back to full operation. The code currently in place that dictates how an urban farm can operate is outdated, and there's a scramble now to put a new one in place that meets the needs of community members, neighbors, and farmers alike. But what is an urban farm exactly? There are 4 within the Austin city limits that are described most often as being truly urban: Rain Lily, HausBar, Boggy Creek, and Springdale. They're only minutes from downtown, and they don't look like the large-scale farms that put most of the meat and vegetables on Austinites' dinner tables every night.
There's sometimes a misconception that, that farming is this huge, Tyson operation in all cases. But I think if we go to the urban farms that we have here in East Austin in particular, we see amazing models of sustainability. We see people who are really good stewards of this land, who are creating solutions that are preventing harmful runoff from going into our watersheds, who are building soils, who are renovating land that used to have derelict houses on it.
Across the street from HausBar, neighbor Neen Francois can hear the farm's donkeys braying from her front yard. It's a sound she welcomes.
I can't tell you how great it is to look across the street and to see this really, really bucolic, beautiful, peaceful setting. When I moved here 6 years ago, it was an empty lot with some abandoned buildings with prostitutes and a lot of drug deals. It was a dark, scary place where, I have 2 young children, and at the time I just wouldn't really let them go out in the front yard by themselves.
The urban farms in East Austin are not industrial operations. They look like elaborate backyard gardens. The only difference is that they have intensive production value. Rows of vegetables, chicken coops, rainwater collection tanks, and compost piles all coexist on small parcels of land where farmers live with their families. Carol Ann Sales and Larry Butler run a farm stand on Boggy Creek Farm where they've been farming for 20 years.
Our first crop was lettuce in early 1993. And from there, Larry and I were just by ourselves, just kept working our way around the farm until it was full. It was just a place families came, they'd get their produce, walk around, show the kids broccoli emerging from a plant and potatoes being dug out of the ground. Who knew? So people are getting food that's not just fresh, it's hyper fresh. It is minutes from the field. It was connected to the plant 30 minutes ago at the most. And that is incredible. You cannot get that food anywhere unless you're growing it.
Oh, yeah. Too, because you'll be able to get a lot of good stuff out of them.
Oh, Carol Ann, thank you so much. That is wonderful.
Very, very welcome.
I am.
Recently, at the Urban Farm Store, hundreds of attendees turned out to see how their broccoli goes from seed to sprout in these micro-operations.
It'd be wonderful to live near an urban farm where we could get our produce also. I think it's wonderful to have these farms in the city and accessible to people.
And this has given me a chance to see that I can do this in Austin too, in this weather, what grows here and how you can grow them organically.
Events like the tour can be great community builders, but they also bring a lot of traffic to the neighborhoods that wasn't there before. Parking and traffic are something the city is trying to address with its new regulations, as well as concerns about animals being raised on the properties.
Just the general proximity to animals seems to be a hot-button issue for a lot of neighbors who, especially those who have experienced decades of feeling excluded from city processes and being in proximity to noxious and toxic land uses.
The chickens at HausBar still need to be slaughtered even if Barger can't sell them, so a few of the birds are efficiently processed several times a month. Despite the setbacks to her business, Barger believes firmly in what she does and has a lot of hope for the future.
As painful as it is and as devastating for our business as it is, maybe a lot of people are going to learn about the fact that our food system is so broken in this way, and maybe a lot of people are going to start supporting healthy, humane protein production that didn't even know that there was an issue to be addressed. So I think what has ended up happening is going to end up being really important.
We're going through this process and we're sitting around in our working groups together and talking about, you know, what this code should look like, what the future of urban farming should look like in Austin. Let's all remember each other as neighbors, as people who all have knowledge about this topic in one way or another.
In light of the controversy surrounding the farms, Neen Francois and another neighbor surveyed their neighborhood to see how people felt about them. Of the 31 neighbors they talked to, they found an overwhelmingly positive reaction to the farms.
The most amazing part to me was connecting with these neighbors and hearing their stories about the history of the neighborhood and how they grew up here and how it used to be a farm and how it's now going back to farming.
East Austin has a long history of farming due in part to the rich soil in the area. Availability of larger and less expensive plots of land have recently attracted farmers back, and as interest in local sustainable food continues to grow, more will likely be coming. That's why it's important for the city to develop a more functional code for the farms to operate under.
What we all want is really the same thing here. Everybody wants a sustainable, healthy, just Austin, a sustainable, healthy, just East Austin. And when we break down barriers for all urban farmers, that really means all potential urban farmers. Empower emerging farmers of color that we hope to see grow and sustain the local food movement in Austin.